Hello students and friends, welcome to machine design lecture number 3 for chapter 2 in design of joints. Today we will discuss about design procedure of knuckle joint. Knuckle joint, let us see what is knuckle joint. It's a joint which connects two cylindrical rods whose axes lie on the same plane and they are under tensile load. And it is used to transmit axial tensile force. This joint allows the angular motion in one plane and it can be easily connected for adjustment or repair. Knuckle joint is given a name in such a way because it uses a knuckle pin to join the two cylindrical rods. Edges of the parts of knuckle joint are machined give its better quality. Steel or wrought iron can be used for making the joint. What are advantages of knuckle joint? So let us see one by one. It can withstand large tensile load. It has good mechanical rigidity. It can be easily dismantled and assembled. Now let us see the drawbacks of the knuckle joint. It cannot withstand heavy compressive load, less flexible as compared to the universal joint, and it allows the angular movement in only one plane. Here are few applications of the knuckle joint in different elements. It is used in automobile and it supports the skeleton for wheel assembly. It is used between link of suspension bridge, for tie bar and roof trusses, thyroid joint of a jib crane, chains of bicycle, wipers of the vehicle, earth movers, pump rod joint, valve rod joint with eccentric rod, and for pulling trolley with the help of tractor. Let us see here few applications of the knuckle joint. It is used as a joint, knuckle joints in the links for, you can say, prosthetic hand. These are few applications for the tractor. This is suspension bridge, this is cycle chain and wiper mechanism of the vehicle. Here we can see this is used for the suspension as well as for pulling the tractor with the help, pulling the trolley with the help of the tractor. And this is the earth mover which is using knuckle joint. So these are all applications of the knuckle joint. How it looks like. So these are the main parts of the knuckle joint. In assembled condition it looks like this way. So now one by one we will see all parts of knuckle joint. So here you can see this one is a single eye end and this is a double eye end or a forked end. These are two rods which are to be joined. This is a knuckle pin with pin head. Here is a collar and this is the taper pin. So how it is made or formed? It is used to connect two rods. Out of that, one is having one eye end and another is having a forked end, that is double eye end. Single eye end is placed in the two eyes of the double eye. After that, knuckle pin will be inserted in the hole of single eye and double eye. Knuckle pin goes below and in bottom also there is an extension of the knuckle pin. At the bottom of the knuckle pin there is a hole and in the collar also there are two holes. So collar will be driven from the bottom side and holes will be matched, and from that hole taper pin will be inserted, and that is how knuckle joint is formed. This is a two-dimensional sketch of knuckle joint. This is single eye, this is double eye or forked end, this is pin head with knuckle pin, this part is a collar and this is a taper pin. So here we can see a pictorial view of the same knuckle joint with dimensions. Inner diameter of the eye is D1. Outer diameter of each eye is D2. Diameter of pin head and collar is D3. Thickness of single eye is T. Thickness of each eye of forked end is T1. Thickness of collar as well as pin head is given by T2. And yes, students, the rods which are to be connected, the diameter of the rod is D. And we have sigma T, sigma C and tau are permissible tensile stress, crushing stress and shear stress for the material of rod and eye. L1 is the length of the forked end and L2 is the length of the single eye end. Now let us see the design procedure of knuckle joint. So rod will be subjected to tensile failure. And when it will be subjected to tensile failure, it will be failed like this way. And we see from this diagram, this is a two-dimensional diagram. This is the area of failure. We can easily make the equation of area resisting failure is pi by 4 into d square. So tensile strength of the rod is pi by 4 d square into sigma t. From this equation, we can find diameter of rod. Second step is empirical relations. These empirical relations, we can get all dimensions of the knuckle joint. And that empirical relation values have come from past experiences and based on experiments. So diameter of pin or inner diameter of eye D1 is equal to D. Outer diameter of eye is 2D. Diameter of collar and diameter of pin head is 1.5D. Thickness of single eye is 1.25 times D. Thickness of each eye of a forked end is 0.75 times D. And last, that is thickness of collar and pin head, D2 is 0.5 times D. So students, we will think that all dimensions we have calculated. So here design is over. But whenever we are using empirical relationship, then we have to check the design that whatever stresses are induced in the knuckle pin, single eye and forked end are within permissible limit or not. So if they all are within permissible limit, then only our design will become safe. So now let us see one by one failure of various parts to check its design. Third step is failure of knuckle pin in shear. This portion of the knuckle pin will go along with single eye and these two will remain in the forked end. So as there are two areas of failure, we call it as double shear failure. And the area resisting failure is given by 2 into pi by 4 d1 square. And the strength equation is T is equal to 2 into pi by 4 d1 square into tau induced. From this equation, we will find the tau induced value. And for safe design of pin, it should be less than the permissible value. Fourth step, we will see the failure of single eye in tension. So when we consider the failure of single eye will take place across the slot, across the hole, because there it has minimum area. And the same diagram we can see in the two-dimensional view. We can make the equation of area resisting failure, which will be d2 minus d1 into T. And the strength equation T is equal to d2 minus d1 into T into sigma T induced. From this equation, we can find induced tensile stress, and for safe design of single eye, it should be less than permissible. Then we will see the bearing pressure or crushing failure of knuckle pin in single eye. You can see knuckle pin and eye is having a contact here. And there will be a localized compressive stress at the contact surface, and that is known as the crushing stress. So when we consider the crushing failure of pin, the area resisting failure will be projected area, and here it will be d1 into T. So strength equation T is equal to d1 into T into sigma C induced. From this equation, we will find induced crushing stress, and for safe design, it should be less than permissible value. Now we will see sixth step, that is failure of single eye in shear. We can easily see from this sketch, knuckle pin will push this end of the single eye and it will come out, it will shear off like this way. And because there are two areas in contact, front area and back area, we call it as double shear failure. And we can see that it is a radial difference, that is R2 minus R1. So we have written it as D2 minus D1 by 2. So equation of area is 2 into D2 minus D1 by 2 into T. Strength equation is P is equal to area into tau induced. From this equation, we can find shear stress induced, and for safe design, it should be less than permissible value. Now we will see one by one all failures of forked end. So first of all, we will see tensile failure of forked end. We can see that forked end will be subjected to tensile failure across hole, and we can see from this diagram that area resisting failure will be 2 into D2 minus D1 into T1. Because there are two eyes, so there will be 2 for all the double eye equations. And the strength equation is 2 into D2 minus D1 into T1 into sigma T induced. From this equation, we will find induced tensile stress, and it should be less than permissible value for safe design. Now in 8th step, we will check the double eye for bearing pressure or crushing failure of knuckle pin in double eye. And you can see there will be a localized compressive stress at the contact surface with projected area for two eyes. Our area resisting failure equation is 2 into D1 into T1, and the strength equation is 2 D1 T1 into sigma C induced. From this equation, sigma C induced can be calculated, and it should be less than permissible for safe design. Next is the failure of double eye in shearing. Due to push by knuckle pin, this end of the forked end will shear off. There will be two areas of failure, front and back. So it will be double shear failure. Double shear failure, two eyes, there will be 2, and this length is d2 minus d1 by 2 and height is t1. So that becomes the area resisting failure. Strength equation will be area into tau induced. From this equation, we can easily find induced shear stress, and it should be less than permissible for safe design of forked end. 10th step is the failure of knuckle pin in bending. In actual practice, knuckle pin is kept loose in the fork to allow the angular movement in one plane, and therefore other than the shearing, pin will be also subjected to bending failure. And we have kept diameter of pin equal to diameter of rod, and a margin of strength is provided to allow for the bending of the pin. When we are considering bending, it is assumed that at the portion of single eye, there will be uniformly distributed load, and at the portion of the forked end, there will be uniformly varying load. So bending moment equation we can easily make from this figure. Considering the upper half part of the neutral axis, here this load UVL is acting at a distance T by 2 plus T1 by 3, because this will act at a 1/3 of the height, and height is T1. Over here, uniformly distributed load will act at a distance T by 4 from the neutral axis. So taking bending moment about neutral axis, that will be maximum bending moment, T by 2 into bracket T1 by 3 plus T by 2 on right side, and P by 2 into T by 4 on the left side moment. Now simplifying, we get maximum bending moment as P by 2 into T1 by 3 plus T by 4. As pin is circular, moment of inertia is pi by 64 d1 raised to 4, and y, that is distance of extreme fiber from neutral axis, is d1 by 2. So section modulus z, which is I upon y, comes pi by 32 d1 cube. Using the equation, that is bending tensile stress is m upon z. Substitute all values and we can find the safe diameter of pin which will resist the bending failure. So this is the last step of design procedure of knuckle joint. Friends, for easy understanding of you all, here we will see the same design procedure quickly in a tabular form. So here serial number 1 is in column 1. Second column will be seeing the part name with failure. Third column we will see which parameter to be found. Fourth column is a strength equation, and fifth is a failure sketch if any. So let us quickly revise the design procedure. First step is to find the diameter of rod considering tensile failure. This is the strength equation. This is the failure sketch, and the strength equation is pi by 4 d square into sigma t. Second step is all empirical values. D1 is D, D2 is 2D, D3 is 1.5D, T is 1.25D, T1 is 0.75D, and T2 is 0.5D. Third step is the failure of knuckle pin in double shear failure. We can see this sketch. There are two areas. So strength equation is P is equal to 2 into pi by 4 D1 square into tau induced. From this equation, we will find tau induced and compare it with the permissible value. Fourth step is the failure of single eye in the tension. You can see from this sketch, strength equation is P is equal to D2 minus D1 into T into sigma T induced. From this equation, we will find sigma T induced, and it should be less than permissible for safe design. Similarly, for crushing failure, strength equation is d1 into t into sigma c induced. They will find sigma c induced, which should be less than permissible. And the next sixth step is the failure of single eye in double shear. So this is the strength equation. They will find tau induced and it should be less than permissible for safe design. So friends, 7th, 8th and 9th step are same as 4, 5 and 6th step, but here this is double eye and thickness of each eye is T1. So T will be replaced by 2 times T1 for tensile failure, crushing failure and shear failure. And with all these steps, we will find out the induced tensile stress, induced crushing stress and induced shear stress. And for safe design of double eye, it should be less than permissible. And the last step is failure of knuckle pin in bending. So we will use equation sigma b is equal to m upon z. And using all these values, we will be able to find the diameter, which is the safer diameter to avoid bending failure. So this is by tabular method. I hope it is very much clear to you that what all steps are there in the design procedure of knuckle joint. And students, thank you very much. I hope you have enjoyed.